That's what we're speaking to. So the conventional, which is non-conventional, the conventional thought is progressively grow yourself in a way where allow you to have high quality sustainability at every level of your life, because this is the one life you're given. So make sure you can approach it that way. The unconventional thought is, I can do it all right now in a short amount of time.
You know, getting to unconventional and conventional, people, I would definitely urge you to make fitness a year-round activity. That's a major mistake. Let me just cut to the chase on this one.
Mm-hmm. All right, welcome to another episode of Wellness in Depth. I am Mark Komar.
I am Akil Sherman.
And today we're going to talk to you about do not listen to the fitness industry.
Don't listen to that shit we talking about. Don't listen to us.
No, you can listen to us. You can listen to us.
You can definitely listen to us.
Right, that's how everybody starts it off, right? But for real though, like, don't listen to the fitness industry on the totality of what you see. That's the propaganda that is on
the predatory marketing messages,
which stems from 6-minute abs to 30-day turnaround,
lose fat immediately, quick weight loss, 10 pounds in 2 days.
You could do a backflip into a somersault into a single finger push up in like less than 2 weeks. That stuff is not true.
Yeah.
What we want to talk about is the actual conventional way to approach your thought about wellness, but it's non-conventional because of how we have perpetuated the marketing
and the
messaging over the past 30 or 40 years. So what are we talking about? First off, we're talking about setting proper realistic goals for yourself that make sense for you, and not just goal attainment of saying I want to get to a certain place, because let me say this, it's about the sustainability, but the continual evolution of one's progression.
Lifestyle.
Thank you.
Lifestyle. Like, can the thing you're doing can you do it in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way into your 80s? If you can't continue to engage in a certain level of fitness, then what are you really doing? And I don't mean that from standpoint, because I mean some faculties diminish with age. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but there are, like, you can't have extreme caloric deficits over a long time, or wearing a waist trainer 10 plus hours every day for years and years and move your organs around and things like that. There's just certain things that you're doing to get a result that aren't sustainable long term.
And you have to keep it too in the reality of, along with those are excellent examples, but I'm going to take it a step further. The psychology for yourself. What you did, like you said, in your 20s, you're not going to do in your 50s.
Yeah. So
if you're doing extreme box jumps and hip dynamic programs and ladder drills, you don't necessarily need to do those things in your 50s. There are age-related, if you will, exercises that will still keep you at an apex of your ability to perform at that level.
Yeah.
Without having to focus on doing those type of drill dynamics, you know what I'm saying?
Now,
modalities.
Well, and what I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it depends on individual, right?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Right.
Always.
Right. So we're not saying like
always.
This is fluid.
This is fluid. But for the mass majority of individuals out there, you have your outliers. You always have your outliers. Look, you got LeBron James playing in 20 years and playing at an excellent level.
Tom Brady out there.
Tom Brady. You got, you know what I'm saying? So you have the outliers. I'm not talking to you. Matter of fact, you probably aren't even listening to what we're talking about.
That's true.
So I'm talking to you that's listening to us that doesn't necessarily understand, because you're being bombarded with the propaganda that is, and you're seeing the imagery on social media from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. You're seeing these young dynamic athletes, and they're phenomenal at what they do for where they are at 26, 27, 28 years old. If you are, which you are, some of you out there who are listening to us, if you're 40 plus, 45 plus, 15, 20 years removed from having done those dynamic activities, don't put that pressure on yourself mentally and emotionally is what I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
And I will always stand by that. I am not saying at all that you cannot progressively over the years regain that capability.
Yeah.
Again, over the years, progressively.
Not 2 weeks?
Right. No.
I can't do a somersault.
If you've been 15 years removed from it,
I
ain't
can't
gonna
get
do
it
it
back.
in 2 years.
I can't. My 4 touchdowns in a single game. I can't.
Right.
I can't go back to doing that.
So I'm saying to you guys, that's what I'm speaking to, and I thank you for bringing up that clarity, and I'm okay with addressing it this way. Yeah, the outliers do what you do. Yeah, there's a few of you out there that, at 78, you can sit there and do some box jumps like it ain't no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could probably deadlift.
Pistol squats.
Right, you could deadlift 215 without no problem. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At 82 years old, you are amazing. You are who we are striving to be.
Emulate, but the rest of you all.
Right, that's what we're speaking to. So the conventional, which is non-conventional, the conventional thought is progressively grow yourself in a way where allow you to have high quality sustainability at every level of your life, because this is the one life you're given. So make sure you can approach it that way. The unconventional thought is, I can do it all right now in a short amount of time.
And some of the
and
pressure that social media just puts on people. The guys feel like they're not as strong. They're looking at, guy, like you said, some guy who is detrained 25 years down the way, and he's looking at some 20-year-old. Like, don't be. By the way, there's a few things.
That's not social media's fault, by the way. That's your fault.
True too.
That's your fault.
That's true too.
Social media gonna be social media.
But there was a few things like, I laugh because there are certain times that fitness influencers, they do stuff for the gram. They do something. They do stuff for the views. That's not even how they work out. A lot of them. They just doing some stuff like. And I'm hoping we move past this trend, but it was that little trend for a little while where my man was holding like a couch, and he was like benching the couch. It was like, okay,
that was extreme.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, it's somebody watching that. Like, I needed to bench this couch.
But
no.
Okay, I would say this, and maybe you can. I'm a millennial, right? I'm literally right on the cusp. I'm a millennial. It's interesting to me. We want to indict so aggressively social media for what it portrays, and it's no different than what TV did when MTV came out, and when things came out on TV. It's magazines with Cindy Crawford. That was the medium at the time that portrayed a certain dynamic. I have to address this. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I have to address this. I don't want to keep indicting at all, because we're using these platforms, and these platforms, I think, at this particular juncture, it's just a new medium. Now, it's up to the consumer to be smart. It's kind of like how when Charles Barkley or sports athletes said back in the day, I am not a role model.
But here's where I'll push back on that. TV will at least say, hey, don't try this at home. Social media, you see your face change, because you're like, well, yeah, of course you're not gonna try that stuff at home because you're grown and you know things.
No, they not like I don't recall when Sports Illustrated first came out that it was. But it's imagery. It's all image. When you see a sexy vixen on the beach and you're like, I want to look like her. Like, it's the same thing. It's just with sports. Like, they didn't always say like, do not try this at home.
No. Well, that's because people do. I was talking about more the emulation. But I don't want to get too off topic, so let's get back to the conventional and what you were saying.
No, I want to stay on topic, because this is good for the people, because this is how people think, and this is how people address this. It's a dynamic out there that puts all the weight and onus on and responsibility on social media. And I'm saying, yes, social media has its place, but you cannot. You see a dude picking up a couch, like you said, he's picking up a couch. Come on, people. Now, even when I'm an adult or not, he's picking up a couch. Come on, like, that's not. If he's curling it, pushing it, deadlifting it, whatever he's doing with it, that is not reality. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's up to you as the individual to have a
discernment.
Discernment and context of what reality is. And because in our dynamic of if you're listening to us and you're engaging with us, I'm hoping that you have some kind of wherewithal, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're not talking to 15-year-olds. We're not talking to 13-year-olds. We're talking to grown adults who can have discernment and understanding that, look, quit trying to do this thing because you have Cancun planned in a week and a half, and you saw my man pick up the couch on Instagram, or you saw this little sexy vixen on Insta. Don't get mad at her because she looks like she looks at 26, and you 42 years old, and you haven't been doing the exercise.
Let me also add to that, getting to unconventional and conventional. People, I would definitely urge you to make fitness a year-round activity. That's a major mistake. Let me just cut to the chase on this one, where we get to the summer and folks start slacking off, because you feel like, well, I'm not where I want to be. And here's the 4th, and it's summer, and I have the body I'm going to have, and I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to pay attention to my nutrition. I have the summer vacation, the summer, trip planned,
right?
Or it's behind me.
Talk about it.
And now I feel like, well, I didn't get where I want to go, and I'm gonna just live. Well, there's always something that's going to come up. There's always going to be, like, I love telling my clients, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We're here in the mid-July. And the gyms are empty for the most part. We see that, folks basically start to slack off and they fall off. If you have something coming up, or you've had an event that's already passed, you still want to just focus on having a healthy lifestyle. So therefore, you look and feel the way you want to look and feel. Instead, what he's saying, you put pressure on yourself because you have a thing coming up, you're trying to get ready for it, and you start to stress yourself out, and you start folks think short term. They think about a few weeks out from the thing before they start to get in gear.
You are so right, because the root of it is not based off of you and I know to be conventional, which is it's not about the goal attainment. It's about, like you said, a lifestyle.
Yeah. This
is not about that quick hit. It's not about just for that moment. Like he said, if you have planned for this vacation, well, your life, this body that's going on this vacation is going to be post that. It's going to be long term past that.
Yep.
And so, like he's saying, quit thinking for just this moment. And that's why I say too, like, I'm glad you brought it up. Like, I'm not going to keep indicting social media. I'm a straight shit. Fuck that. Like, y'all need to get over social media. Social media. All it is the modern day. Sports Illustrated, whatever we saw back in, 1985, 1990, it's the modern day version of that. You guys need to start taking responsibility to understand, like you said, this is a lifelong journey. This is your responsibility to take care of this one vessel past just the fact that you have been busting your ass, with respect. You've been busting your ass for 6 months on the job. You just now get, your vacation days. You got a week to go splurge and have fun. This does not give you the right for this body that's taking you from that 6 months to that 1 week of kicking it. And after that, you don't have the right just to say, hey, I'm going to trash you up for a week. You don't have the right. We traveled around the world, literally. We went to Panama. We've been to Thailand. We've been to Bali, Costa Rica.
Dubai.
Right, Dubai. But when we got to each place, we didn't just say, because we were late 30s when we went. We didn't say, okay, well, I'm here for 30 days. Now I'm turn up, drinks, bottles. We did that, but we also did what? The workouts. Yeah. We did the workouts.
We ate right. We went to the grocery store.
Went to the grocery store, cooked our own meals.
And one thing, so like I talk to my clients a lot, and I've said this to them over the years, where, like, you try to get ready for the thing, and then the clients are trying to talk to you about, well, what can I have? How do I want to do? And I'm like, look, man, life is too short, and then it's too long at the same time. When you go to the thing, be at the thing. The key is what you do when you come home. Like, have some wherewithal about having a strategy about getting back in your routine when the thing is over with, because you save yourself a lot of anxiety, stress, frustration. When you, like you said, when you're focused on living a healthy lifestyle as opposed to just getting ready for that thing.
Mm-hmm. And I would take it a step further. You're absolutely correct. It's not just about the moment. When you're at that thing, be in that thing. I agree with you on that. Be present. It's the post. There's the pre and the post. When we talk about the synapses of the brain and trying to retrain or re-ingrain a new habit, it's not the actual habit itself that we're trying to put into the brain. It's actually the pre and post bracketing that allows for the neocortex to actually hone in on that. We tend to think as well it's the activity in between that, the workout or the nutrition. Yeah. It's actually the lead up and the post. So what he's saying is, it's not just about that dinner or what can I have when I get there. Look, you've been training with this man for over 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Have you been diligent with your, daily nutrition, with your
drinking
exercise,
your water,
with your meditation, with your, your down regulation at night before you go to bed? Have you been, that's the pre, before the event. Have you been doing that well? And then when you get to the event, you can enjoy that. You can actually be present. And then post that, you get back to what you did pre. That's important because those are the things. That's the conventional, and that's the non-conventional. Unfortunately, right. But that's the actual conventional way that health professionals approach it, and that's what we're trying to talk to you guys about. So I'm not going to keep putting all this emphasis and onus on the tools that we look at and that we use. It's up to you to take in the responsibility on yourself to quit trying to be so quick with everything. You go for 40 years of college, and you don't try to sit there and say, I'm gonna go for a year and I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna get my master's. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 4 years of schooling. You know what I'm saying? It's 8 years of doctorate. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying?
Or you get you some help. You hire help. That's the other part. You have the opportunity to hire myself, or you can hire this young man, and you can hire a professional that can help you on your journey as well. So
right,
you don't have to be out there by yourself, confused.
You don't. So at the end of the day, the conventional is non-conventional, but the conventional is refocus your intentionality to what is important, which is not just being quick with this whole thing. It's a lifestyle for a reason. This body that you are trying to transform or change is with you from the time you were born to the time you die. So you don't have the chance to say, okay, well, I'm only going to pay attention to it for this few weeks or for this moment, and when I get to Cancun or when I get to Bali, I'm gonna turn up. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. No. It's the same thing. It's the focal point between all of that.
I mean, you could do that. You could go ahead and treat it like that, but you're going to be very frustrated. You're going to find that you're going to be very frustrated a lot. You're going to look at pictures and feel less than confident. You will be on social media looking longingly at individuals that you perceive in better shape than you, because you think like, oh, I just can't get it together. No, you're not approaching it in a way that's beneficial for your lifestyle.
Right. So please approach it that way. Be non-conventional, which will be conventional for you in your approach to health and wellness. We appreciate you guys. We hope this helped you. We look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Thanks for watching. Talk to you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Wellness in Depth. My name is Mark Komar, and Mr. Kill Sherman, thanks you for joining us as well. Please understand the information that we share and use and disseminate on this show is for general use only. Please make sure to consult your doctor or your healthcare provider before engaging in any of the activities that we talk about here on this show, all right? But thank you. We look forward to having you here on the next episode with Wellness in Depth.